Hi. Sometimes you will see a difference when you do a calibration cube, when you do some other calibrating or measuring on what you have printed, and you will see there's a difference, especially on the X and the Y axis, but maybe also on the Z axis. So today I want to show you how you can correct this, and especially on the Ender 4 and the Ender 2 as well. On the Creality Ender 4 and 2, it is not possible to update the firmware, so we will do it on another way. So please follow me. Down in the description you have a link to Thingiverse where you can download this, what should I call it, XYZ Calibrator, and you will print it out on the settings that is mentioned there. Also in the description there's a link to a calculator, a calibration calculator, that I want you to open. And after you have printed this, you measure your Z-axis, this is quite good, 49.98, and you measure your other axis, that is out of scope here, I can see. So you measure all 3 points and write down what you have. So let's go to the computer and see what we will do then. As I said before, it's not possible to update the firmware, so it is permanent in the Ender 4 or 2, and it will simply reset to the factory settings immediately you disconnect from it from USB, or you turn off the printer if you have entered it. But we can use some few commands just to find the factory settings, and you can do that through Pronterface, Simplify 3D, Cura, and it's simply done by connecting through USB. And I'm now in Simplify 3D, and right now I should maybe connect my USB cable. So we are now connected, and you look for a line that starts with M92, and you can see I found it here, and this is the factory values on the Y, on the X, on the Y, on the Z, and the extrusions. This we will focus on another day. But write down this X80, Y80 and Z400. We need to use that when we go to the XYZ Calibrator. So I can now disconnect from it, and you have exactly the same in Cura. Down in the description there is a link for, first of all, for the XYZ Calibrator STL file, but also for the web page where, as you can use as calibration. So you need a caliper, and you need, of course, what you printed. And on the XYZ calibrator you printed, you can see there is an X and a Y and a Z, and the Z is 50mm and the X and the Y is 100. So what you do now is you measure from here to there on the X, write this down, then you measure from there to here on the Y, write the number down you have on a caliper, and of course from the top and here, and write that number down. So in my case, matter of fact, my Z-axis says 49.97, so that's acceptable. I don't want to do changes there. And I'm now on my X-axis on the film, and that says 99.5, and this is too much away from the 100mm. So I had the measured length that I just had, and that was 99.5, and here I had the value that was 80, that was the steps per minute. Yeah, we had the X and the Y with 80 as a default settings. And here is a constructed length, and that is 100 millimeters. So it tells me that my X-axis should have a value of 80.40. So let me write that down, 80.40. That was the X, 80.40, and now we go to the Y. The set was okay. Now I will measure my Y-axis, and I will measure from here to there. And it says exactly 100.1. Wait. 99.87. So I want to correct that as well. And we set 99.87. And that gives me a value of 80.1 on the Y-axis. $80.1. So how do we correct this so we can use it every time? We simply enter it into the starting script of the slicer you are using. And if you are using Cura, you can see here you have start and end code. This is a start when you click here. And you can see here you have here's some explanations. But here you have the G21. And this just needs to be in the beginning of the file. And you will have to type M92, and you will type X as a first, 80 point, I think it was 40, a space, a Y of 80.1, 80.1. And we had a set that was a standard. It was a set was okay. It was 400, and you have the extruder that still is 93. But another day we will look into it. That's it. So when you do that, you will have the correct size, and it will be extremely close to the 100 millimeters and the 50 millimeters. So that's it, and exactly the same you can do in Simplify 3D. You go into your process settings and you go to the script, and this is my starting script for my Ender 4, and I just go in here because that was the one I made it on. 80.4, 80.1. I have calculated my extruder here to be 94.6. So that's it, and now I can print the thing, and all my things should be related to correct measure on X and Y and Z axis. So back at the printer now, and I have printed a new XYZ Calibrator. So let's measure it and see how it came out. It came out exactly 100. I think you do see that here. Yeah. But that was on the X-axis, and let's see the Y-axis. Y-axis was 99.6, 99.99. So that's quite good. And at the Z-axis we didn't make any changes there. So it's 50.01. So this is exactly almost, I mean, it's 99.999% correct. So that's how you do it. Thank you for watching, and happy printing.